Hello and welcome to FPL Mate, your best mate for fantasy Premier League content for the 2020-21 season. My name is Dan and welcome to my Game Week 38 team selection video, the final team selection video of the whole season. Absolutely crazy that we got this far, but here we are. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you my Game Week 37 scores. I'm going to be showing you how I'm lining up for Game Week 38, including my transfer plans and my captain plans as well. So all of that's to come, all in this little old video of mine. Guys, I'm just going to nip this in the bud. I do have a bit of an eye infection, so if you think, Dan, your eye looks a bit weird today, that's kind of why. So yeah. Hopefully not enough to distract from the video. I'm still feeling in good spirits as we approach the end of the season. But yeah, guys, please do leave a like on this last team selection video of the season. Really would appreciate that. And of course, subscribe if you're new around here too. But before we have a look at my scores from Game Week 37, a quick word from our sponsor today, which is, of course, OneFootball. OneFootball sponsoring the channel, possibly for the last time this season. I don't know if they'll be back next season. I hope they are. But they're really a great app. And this is why I've been so happy to work with them all season. It's because it's actually an app I use. Actually an app that I enjoy. You can check out the football scores, you can check out the lineups. It's really easy to do that. You know, check out the stats in the games, when are the substitutes being made, all of that kind of stuff. And also in the same place, you get all your football news, your transfer rumours, all of that in the same place. So it's going to be really useful over the Euros. Definitely going to be using OneFootball non-stop, and hopefully you guys will too. It's completely free, and you can check out the link in my description if you want to try it out yourself. So guys, Game Week 37 was another disaster. I'm not going to lie to you guys, it was an absolute disaster. And the problem is, it wasn't a disaster because I feel like I've made a mistake in my transfers or anything like that. I really don't. I looked at my team. I'm sure a lot of you guys looked at my team last week and thought, wow, this is surely going to get a pretty good score this week. And I really thought it would. And it's just kind of a little bit crazy. So we kind of got Edison conceding 3 goals to Brighton after Cancelo gets sent off. We've got Trent Alexander-Arnold, Salah and Mahrez, 3 best Liverpool attacking players. Even though Trent is a defender, still the 3 best Liverpool attacking players. And between them, despite Liverpool scoring 3 goals, only one of them got any goal contribution. Only Mane got an assist out of those 3. How Salah didn't return in that game, I have no idea. He had a couple of really big chances that he should have scored, but he didn't. We kind of got Luke Shaw. A game against Fulham, a home game against Fulham. You would have thought Manchester United definitely keep a clean sheet in that game. Another crazy one. Greenwood, maybe you think he scores in that game. Rafinha, we have Leeds scoring twice. Rafinha not involved in either of the goals. I think Rafinha also had a goal disallowed as well, which is kind of annoying. Dominic Calvert, Lewin, up against one of the weakest defensive teams aerially in Wolves. Didn't score a single goal in that game. We would have thought that's a really nice and easy game for Everton to score against Wolves. Didn't happen. We had Chris Wood missing chances again. He could have had a couple of goals against Liverpool. And it's kind of like, you look at all of these players, you looked at all of the fixtures, and you kind of thought, I've got to get something from this game week, and it just never came. Really strange game week. I'm sure, guys, if you have Harry Kane in your team, for example, you probably thought it was a pretty strange game week to not get a Harry Kane return. If you had, Bruno and his ghost assist, that was pretty strange as well. So overall, kind of disappointing. And my highest scoring player of the game week was Luca Digne, who I was actually considering benching and playing Dallas instead of. Thankfully, I made the right decision there. So that's a 3-point gain, I guess. But overall, a fantastic team. Didn't manage to score many points. It's just one of those things, I guess. You can't really. That's just the roll of the dice. That's the luck factor in FPL, isn't it? You can have a fantastic team. You're not guaranteed points every game week. So yeah, it didn't go so well. But on the positive side, because I had a fantastic team last game week, it's also going to be a fantastic team for this game week. So hopefully this time things will actually go a little bit more to script. That's what we're hoping for anyway, guys. So let's line up for Game Week 38, the final game week of the season. 1 free transfer, 0.7 in the bank, and a terrible rank that I really need to boost. So let's see how we're lining up. So we'll start off in goal with Edison. We know Edison's going to be playing. Pep has already said Edison's going to start in this game. It's a home game against Everton. Everton, despite the fact that they've been okay defensively recently, Everton are not really scoring too many goals at the moment. So I do think there's real opportunities for a clean sheet here. There is kind of implications that Pep has made in his press conferences that he's going to play a fairly strong team for this game. So I think they do want to go into this game, get a nice win, go and get that momentum ready for the game, the Champions League final in 6 days' time. So that's going to be really important for Man City to get that win. And so not only will we have Ederson in goal as a guarantee, but hopefully a strong squad around them that will win this game, because there's been a couple of dodgy results for Man City recently, really dodgy results in fact, and I don't think that's going to be a sign of things to come permanently. Surely this is not the new Man City or anything like that. So hopefully they can get back to the swing of things for this final game, ready to progress to that Champions League final. Then in defence, we've got Trent Alexander-Arnold. I don't think anyone's going to argue with the fact that Trent Alexander-Arnold is the single best defender to have in this game week. You can't really beat him, can you? You can't beat Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's so creative. Liverpool, of course, probably one of the higher, most likely teams to get a clean sheet in this game week. Crystal Palace, we know, are conceding a lot of goals at the moment. To be fair, they're scoring a couple of goals too, but they're conceding a hell of a lot of goals at the moment. And with Trent Alexander-Arnold's creativity, particularly down that right-hand side, which I feel like the left-hand side of the Crystal Palace defence seems to be a little bit weaker. I think they concede quite a few chances down that side, with kind of Tyreek Mitchell there, or Patrick Van Arnholt occasionally filling in there as well. It's kind of the weaker side of their defence. So down the right-hand side, Trent is going to maybe do the business. He's been taking a few shots recently, which is nice. So hopefully some points there for sure. And speaking of for sure, we've got for sure next. So we got sure a game against Wolves. Now this one is a concern. Not going to lie to you guys, I am really concerned because I don't think Shaw is going to start. If I had to guess on the chances of Luke Shaw starting this game against Wolves, I would say he has probably about a 30-40% chance of starting. So not very high. I do think Alex Telles is going to play instead. That's who I think is going to play at left back, and because that Europa League game is only in a couple of days' time, Shaw is going to be rested, he's going to be protected, United's position in the table is already secure, there's going to be heavy rotation. We know there's going to be heavy rotation in that Manchester United side, so might have to think about what we're going to do. Is my bench strong enough? Think about that kind of thing. But we'll move on to Dallas, a much nicer pick, and probably, when you were looking at defenders, who's going to be the best defenders for this game week, we're kind of looking at Trent Alexander-Arnold, we're probably looking at Robertson, then after that, I would say Dallas is probably the third best defender to have in this game week. So we've got him. It's a nice opportunity for Dallas to, play in midfield again, or maybe at right wing back. I know he's kind of been more of a, I don't know, I feel like he's been more of a wing back type player recently. Maybe some people might disagree with me, or sometimes he plays in midfield, I guess, but it kind of varies. So I don't know exactly where he's going to be playing, but it's a home game against West Brom. West Brom conceding a lot of goals. Maybe Dallas can score a goal. He's scored plenty of goals this season already. And West Brom not exactly great for scoring goals themselves either. So a clean sheet, potential goal here. Another massive haul from Dallas. We know he's capable of it. Let's go, guys. Let's go. And moving on into midfield, we're going with Salah, the most obvious player in the entire game right now. For me, Salah is just the number one pick of the entire game week. He's just got to be, hasn't he? He's just the most obvious player that you absolutely must have. And I feel like if you don't have Salah this game week, you're going to be punished. Then again, kind of said that last game week, and then it didn't happen. So, it's difficult though, because it's the first home game back in front of a crowd for Liverpool, for Salah. We know he loves playing in front of a home crowd at Anfield. Easy for me to say. So it could be big. He's still chasing that golden boot. There's still so much to play for Liverpool. They've got to win to give themselves any chance of getting into the top four. And they probably will do it. If they get a win, they probably are pretty much guaranteed top four unless Leicester score more goals than them. So it could go down to goal difference. So maybe it could be a big goal game and lots of goals in this game. You never know, something like that. And of course, Crystal Palace, last time they played Liverpool this season, Liverpool beat them, 7-0? So plenty of goals on that occasion. Maybe plenty of goals on this occasion as well. In that case, it'd be very good to have Salah, and also very good to have Sadio Mane, who for me, I've kind of spoken about this before, I have two players that I think are going to go big this game week. The two biggest players of the game week for me are Salah and then Mane. Those are the two big players for me in this game week. Now, Salah is obviously the top dog, but after that, it's Mane. And I have him too, which is something that's really, really good. So once again, nice, good fixture. A Crystal Palace that are conceding goals. A Crystal Palace team that Liverpool have already scored a bunch of goals against. It looks really good. Liverpool so much to play for. Palace nothing to play for. Yeah. I like this a lot. So hopefully that triple up on Liverpool is going to pay me back from what it should have been last game week. Maybe we can get last game week's and this game week's returns all in one in this game week. That would be nice. Catch up on some points there that are much deserved from that trio of players, I guess. So moving on to Mahrez. Now this is an interesting one. I do think Mahrez is probably going to play, only based on Pep Guardiola's comments about, He's happy to play a strong squad. He wants to finish the season well. He's not worried about players getting injured. He said kind of players can get injured in this game. Players can get injured on the training pitch. They can get injured putting their boots on. You know, that kind of thing. And it's not like he's just going to wrap all of his players in cotton wool because they could get injured at any point. So what's the point? Of course, the difference between Manchester City and Manchester United is that Man City have 6 days rest and Manchester United only have 3 days rest between the end of the season and the big final. So that is a massive consideration. And I do think Mahrez has a decent chance of starting in this game. I really do. Am I 100% sure he's going to start? Absolutely not. But I think there's a good chance. And if he does play, he's one of those players who is capable of such a big haul. He can be a real big hitter sometimes, and he can change your entire game week. So for that reason, I'm not even considering taking out Mahrez, because if he starts, if I see his name on the team sheet and I sold him, it's instant regret before the game even kicks off, because he just is capable of those magical performances. So we'll move on to Greenwood. Another player I'm not 100% sure if he's going to play or not, but I am kind of leaning towards the fact that Greenwood will play this game. And the reason why is because Martial has been deemed unfit for this game. Cavani, there is no way Cavani plays this game just because he cannot play this many games in a row. He's played, if he plays in this game, that will be 4 games for him played in the space of 13 days by the time we get to the Europa League final. Cavani needs to be rested for the Europa League final. That is so important. There's nothing to play for this game. There is no way that Cavani starts. So if Cavani can't start, if Martial can't start, we kind of got Rashford maybe as the striker, but I kind of feel like we're more looking towards Greenwood for this one. I think Greenwood is going to be the man starting up front. I really do. And then we're going to finish off the midfield with Rafinha, a player, again, who I'm pretty confident is going to have a relatively good week, or at least has the potential to have a good week. We know he's the most creative player in that Leeds team. We know that West Brom are kind of one of the worst, if not the worst defence in the league. Perhaps you put Sheffield United below them. Perhaps you put Crystal Palace in around the same area as well. But certainly West Brom are a very, very, very bad defence indeed. So it's definitely a team we will want to be targeting at this game week. So we've got Dallas already. We've got Rafinha here as well. I think Rafinha has got this just magic about him where he really can do anything, and he will create lots of chances. He will take shots, and you feel like if Leeds were to score a couple of goals in this game, Rafinha must be involved in at least one of them, maybe even 2. And I do think he's capable of a haul. He's only had 1 haul so far this season, more than 10 points, but I do think he is surely going to get another one. At some point, why not this game week? Why not, guys? And it's depending on the formation that Leeds play and the setup that they go for this game week, there's also the potential for Rafinha to actually play really high up the pitch as well, which is something that we really like to see, isn't it? So up front, we've got Dominic, Calvert, Lewin, a game against Man City. Now, I don't actually think DCL is a must sell. Like, obviously, this is not an ideal fixture by any stretch of the imagination, but Manchester City, and you can say, maybe it's because of some red cards, maybe it's because they've kind of down tools, maybe it's because of the rotation, maybe it's because they had the third choice goalkeeper in goal, but City have been conceding a couple of goals recently. They actually kind of have. DCL hasn't looked terrible. Obviously, he's not looked amazing in the immediate recency, but he's still capable of getting a goal. So I don't know. It's not an absolute must sell, but for me personally, if I want to maximise the points that I'm going to get from this game week, then I need Ederson to keep a clean sheet. And if Ederson's keeping a clean sheet, that means DCL is not returning. So in order to maximise my points total, I kind of have to remove DCL, at least to maximise my potential points total, which is something I'm looking to do. But we'll talk about that in a second. And we'll finish off the team with Wood against Sheffield United. As long as he starts, and I do think he's very, very, very incredibly likely to start. I'm like 95% sure that Wood's going to start, so I'm not too worried about that. Surely this could be huge. This has to be huge. You know, Wood, kind of one of the most informed strikers in the entire league. You know, you'd only put Kelechi Iheanacho above him, really. Maybe arguably Harry Kane. I mean, there's an argument for Antonio as well, but Antonio's kind of come back to fitness more recently, so there's not as much data to support that. But Wood, last 10 game weeks or whatever, he's just scoring non-stop, getting assists as well. He is the target of every single Burnley attack. He is there. He is the one in that attack. So gonna be a real opportunity for potentially multiple goals from Wood. I really would not be surprised if he came out with a brace. I could really see it happening in this game, but we'll see. That's kind of a fingers crossed moment for me. Obviously, it's a big differential for me as well, so yeah, hopefully that goes to plan. But we'll go up to the bench quickly, and we've got Fraser Forster, who is going to start this game, judging by the rotation pattern that Hassan Hootel is going for at Southampton. Forster will be playing this game, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to start Edison anyway. We've got Vidra on the bench, which is very nice indeed. We'll talk about why that's so nice in a second. But we've got Cedric there, who is Cedric. He's not going to play in this game realistically. Arsenal have kind of said that they're going to play the strongest team possible in this final game. They're just going to play their best team. So that, I feel like that doesn't include Cedric, to be honest. And then we've got Luca Digne, who is against Manchester City. I do think Everton are going to concede in this game. So and Digne's not really been producing enough attacking results for me. So I'm not really interested in playing Digne either. So he can sit third on the bench as far as I'm concerned. But guys, I'm going to make my transfers, and I'm going to try and talk you through my logic and my thinking and where I'm trying to go with all of this. So we're going to be taking a -4. I'll explain why in a second. But these are the transfers that I'm going to be making, guys. So we are going to be taking out both Cedric, and we're going to be taking out DCL, and we're going to be replacing them with Antonio and Tierney there. This is an interesting one. I explain why I want to get rid of DCL, because I want to maximize the potential of points I can get. And then it's a case of because I don't think Shaw's going to start, and you can see now Shaw has dropped to my bench, which means that Tierney now comes in and replaces Shaw in that defense. Now that kind of means that I've got 3 defenders there who are definitely going to start. I've got Shaw there, who I don't think is going to start. I really don't think he's going to start. And even if he does, I don't know. I can't see Manchester United, keeping a clean sheet necessarily anyway, because they don't seem too bothered at the moment, which is kind of understandable because they're just waiting for the Europa League final. So yeah, that's the situation. And if Shaw doesn't start, I do think Tierney can outscore Shaw. He can outscore Digne by a significant amount of points, because this Brighton game is fantastic because Brighton don't have Maupay. Maupay is suspended. They don't have Welbeck. Welbeck is injured, which means they're going to have to play midfielders up front, which means they're not going to have very much attacking potential at all. And that's saying something, considering that Brighton don't have much attacking potential at the best of times. They're kind of if you look at the leaderboards for expected goals and for actual goals scored, Brighton are kind of sit right at the bottom. Arsenal, on the other hand, are in a fantastic vein of form. They sit second best defence on expected goals conceded. You can look at some of the other stats like shots conceded and stuff like that. Arsenal rank really highly, so Arsenal one of the best defences. And what I like about Tierney is he's a fantastic attacking potential as well, and he's high ceiling because he can get clean sheet in this game very easily. Then we're talking about potential for an assist maybe. And now we're racking up some points here, potentially. Obviously, it's speculative, isn't it? And if Arsenal concede a goal, it all goes out the window. But Arsenal have been playing well defensively. Brighton have been in bad attacking form even when they have had their strikers. They've kind of been relying a little bit on set pieces to get goals and stuff like that, which is far from a guarantee. It's kind of a roll of the dice in many respects, isn't it? So I do think there is a real chance of a clean sheet here, and this Tierney transfer being absolutely worth its weight. We've got Antonio as well, who is a little bit of a differential, but also one of the best players to have this game week. So far as to say, if you fancy a differential captain, I kind of would understand why you'd go for a player like Antonio, potentially trying to beat his personal best of 10 goals in a season. He's had some incredible high scores in the past, so he's a big hitting player, and he is against Southampton, who have nothing to play for. It's a game at home. Southampton, one of the worst defences in the league. Maybe you call them maybe the 4th or 5th worst defence in the league on current form. West Ham have so much to play for. They still want to really guarantee themselves a nice European place, so this is really important to them. So there's so many factors. Antonio potentially on penalties as well, likely to play 90 minutes because of the importance of the game. He's like their only striker pretty much. So many factors make Antonio desirable. Now, those are the transfers. That's the reasoning for the transfers. But here is the overall thinking for me and why I'm going the way I'm going. Guys, I'm at 159k. If I happen to drop down a little bit lower than that, if I drop down to 180k, 190k, it's not going to be the end of the world. I wouldn't really mind. I would just kind of go, well, I mean, this season was already a write-off. We'll just go again next season. Absolutely fine. However, by going for these slightly differential players, and that's exactly what I'm doing here. Tierney, really differential. Antonio, really differential. All of these players, really high potential for high scores as well. We've got Mane, we've got Mahrez, we've got Greenwood, we've got Wood. You look through this squad, and every player has this potential to score huge points. Well, most of them have potential to score huge points anyway, which is so special and gives me a real chance of doing something magical, risky, special in the last day of the season. It keeps the dream alive of top 100k. Now, am I going to hit top 100k this season? I've got 59,000 places to climb. I've got something like 28 point deficit to overcome. Realistically, it's not going to happen, but if I want to give it a chance of happening, and even if it's like a 10% chance of happening, 5% chance of it happening, 1% chance of it happening for me, the only way you can do that is to create the opportunity for yourself. And if you guys are chasing as well, and you kind of like, my season's done, I don't really know what to do, I don't think it's going to go well, just take a risk. Take a risk. Take a -4. Why not? Pick some differential players with high ceilings, with high potential. Why not? Because that is the only way you can do it. You know, you've got to buy a ticket to win the raffle. That's what they say. And this is the only way you can possibly, like, you know, achieve something at the last minute of the season. And will it happen? Probably not. But let's have a little bit of fun and actually give it a go. And that's exactly what I'm doing here. You guys can say your transfers are risky, they're stupid. Just buy Bamford, just buy Kane. If I buy Bamford, if I buy Kane, players like that, my rank doesn't move. I go up maybe at the most 10,000 places, 20,000 places. And I'm like, okay, yay. I don't really care. But by doing this and praying that Bamford blanks, praying that Kane blanks, and all the stuff like that, if they do blank and my players score, that is going to make such an impact on my position, my standing in the overall league tables. And that's what I'm trying to create. I'm trying to create some magic, and you can only create some magic by taking a few risks. And if you've got nothing to lose anyway, why not? And that's pretty much the end of that tactical spiel. It's not really tactic, it's just having some fun and trying to take a last minute pump and getting ready to go again next season, basically. But guys, quickly on captains, let's just keep it really simple for now. I might go for Mane captain, but that would be really risky as well. We'll perhaps decide last minute tomorrow on stream. But we're going to go Salah captain, Mane vice captain. I think that is probably the most sensible two players that you could possibly captain in the whole game. So it's going to be one of them. It's going to be most likely Salah, but maybe I changed my mind and go for Mane as the super last minute risk. We'll see. But that's how I'm setting up, guys. This is the team. I think it looks good, differential, risky, but has such high potential. Whether it will reach that potential is another question, but you've got to be in it to win it. Thank you for watching this final team selection video of the season. Don't worry, next week I will do a recap and tell you my final scores, my final overall rank. I'll tell you all that next week, possibly on Monday or something like that, just to give just to complete the team selection series, I guess, with the game week review. But yeah, guys, please, if you like the video, if you did enjoy this video, it's the last team selection video in the traditional sense of the season. Please do subscribe if you're new around here. And guys, also I made another video on differentials. I made it yesterday, but due to some problems with YouTube, I couldn't actually upload it until 3 AM UK time, so I stayed up just to upload the video. So do go check that out if you didn't see it already, but it is there for you if you want it. And guys, I am going to be making one more video on some final tips for Game Week 38. Not sure when I'll release that one. It could be pretty early tomorrow morning, depending on where you are. But I kind of wanted to release that because a lot of you guys aren't going to be able to make my stream tomorrow, which is completely fair enough. Not everyone can make the stream. So in that case, I want to give some final tips for those of you who are in different time zones, or you're too busy, you're busy at the time where I'm streaming tomorrow. So I can just give you just those last minute little tips that I think you will find really, really helpful. So it's going to be a double upload day today, I guess, in a sense. But there you go, guys. Thank you so much for watching once again, and I will see you later, mates. See you later. Bye-bye.